I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to do this end with some syncope. So hello people. I am going to talk about a piece that was given for a public feedback. The author said, "Roast my four-part writing melody." Um, the only reason why I'm doing this is because it will give very interesting food for thought in music theory. What happens here? I am going to explain why. So his introduction, he write, "Bring it on. I have got my big boy pants on. I can take a roasting." But seriously, I really appreciate the in-depth advice from experienced people, etc. Simple, short diatonic piece, perhaps the only mildly interestingness is, I hope, the correct use of cadentia um, uh, 6/4 chord. I call it 4/6 chord because the 4 is in the bottom. Um, uh, Progression for the final cadence. Okay, so keen to hear thoughts on melody, form, four-part contrapuntal writing, and anything else really. Rendered with VSL Celeste, with no verb, as it sounds like a lullaby to my ears. It's actually not a piano piece. It I will show the score, but first let's hear it. Okay, so now start the interesting things. What we have in front of us, what we experience, is a jingle. Okay, and as a jingle, my first impression when I hear this is okay. Okay, so now, but now let's look at the score. So the score looks like this. Um, it is written piano there. So if we are strict, we have to ask, does he want for piano or for celesta? Okay, and it was very wise to choose the Celesta song because with this timbre he saved his short mini jingle. Okay, and you will know why, because there are, it's in this situation it's very clear that you have to pick up your battle and decide with which framework you want to to start observing things, because of course from the point of view of common practice tonal music, uh, with the orientation of the music composed between Bach and early Wagner, then we have, of course, a lot of problems here. So this is why I think it's a good video to do, because at least who doesn't know about these rules will know here, and those who know will learn with me the other problems that are going on here that are harder, because when we play this, let's hear again. It's everything harmonic, cute. There is a character. It is out there. But when we read his description, then we start having some problems. So this is what I want to talk about here. So this kind of things. Um, he speak he speaks about counterpoint, 4-part counterpoint. So 4-part counterpoint. Then we start having some more traditional framework to work on, and then he speaks about the cadential 4/6 chord. This means here you have to decide if you are talking to someone who already knows what he is doing or not. I have a clue to say that this is a case of, let's say, I will not say lucky beginner, but I will say that it looks that he doesn't master some things, but his talent uh, masked his weakness regarding what he wants to, the type of music he wants to achieve. So because he wrote, because he used the celesta sound, he he highlighted the vertical aspects of his music, and the vertical aspects that from the classical point of view are here problematic. He masked this with the high overtones of the celesta that has a very percussive effect. Okay, so it's a very interesting situation in composition, because you learn also the property of the timbre, and what timbre can do with your tonsatz, with your harmony and counterpoint. So how harmony and counterpoint are still um, sometimes subordinated to timbre. So so let's take a look from the very classical point of view first. Okay, so it's clear that he wants a 4-bar structure. It is clear that apparently he wrote the bass line first, and here as well. So the bass line is totally independent from the upper part. So we have so an idea here of figurate bass going on, and so naturally we have some baroque music here going on somehow, but this is contradicted by our periodic construction. We have here antecedent, consequent, so it could be a baroque dance, but also not so much, because the counterpoint there is absolutely not baroque, because of our beloved parallel fifths that would be used in this explicit manner principally by Ravel in a chanson that he wrote, and even there you can speak about part writing. So here your fifths, they are cancellating your intention of um, part writing. However, if your harmony were of another kind, then we could start to digest the parallel fifth as an element of your style. But since you start very like a classical piece, then it is a problem. But because you choose the very smart instrument called celesta, then we just can go on with this. So if I were owner of a radio program and you sell me this, I think, why not? Okay. So only for a very analytical ear you will find a problem later. This doesn't mean that the problem is not important, because it will be probably the same problem that will make you have a important challenge composing other things. So I can't say this yet because I don't know the composer. I don't know what he composed else. But my experience tells that even if it here works somehow, it sounds everything somehow good with the celesta. Um, some problems that we are starting to notice here, they are those things that might slow you down in the process of achieving other things in composition. So then, so the parallel uh, fifths. Then another thing, it is written for piano. This So I, even for the celesta, I think this will be very hard to play. So the celesta will play one octave higher. Okay, so no, okay, it works because I have big hands, but I have really big hands. I am like playing this, but here you have to pay attention. Okay, so okay, no, here we can let we can accept this. Okay, this is, it's not a big issue. But then your seventh goes upwards, what is kind of awkward. We start seeing such things with Liszt and Wagner, and here I would not find that you are being aware of what you're doing with your seventh, and the way that you are handling this important chord called dominant seventh chord. And this has to do with your counterpoint writing. So it's somehow funny what you do here, because it is a piece that sometimes disregard the harmonic writing, because it's very focused on the lines of the counterpoint. But in other hand, it's not also like fully counterpoint. It's a little bit like figured harmony because of the bass. So it's not also true counterpoint um, writing. So not true counterpoint techniques. So it's a mix between a piece of the common practice period, a piece of the early Baroque counterpoint era. So this means this type of people here who wrote parallel fifths, or they go from the dominant to subdominant and all such weird things. So you have these two things going on, and the third thing is that it looks that you don't care. You do the music of today, and then you set this for celesta, and it sounds somehow good. So the music has no problem, in my opinion, as a jingle for celesta. However, if you want to learn music, you should care for the things that are happening here, because regardless if you write a music in a traditional style or not, these aspects of harmony, it's important that you pay attention on them. But I can't say because I don't know you. I don't know how much you know about this, and what you do on purpose. I think some things here you don't do exactly on purpose, and I will still tell you more. So Then this is very like old counterpoint writing. For example, this is very old school, before modern tonality. Okay, it's a very precise case of this. Okay, so here we have our famous dominant subdominant situation. Yeah, the no go for the old harmony books. You can use these things in some symphonies and things like this, but this is kind of moment of expression. This is a kind of different moment when you write in true tonal music. And for modal music and the modal pop music, this is even important that you do this contrary thing. But it's very important to understand that this is a special situation, and that this is what is going here because of the your tritonus. Okay, that reveals the dominant. And even you, okay, you have subdominant, dominant, subdominant, but so even more, so you give this whole a little bit leading sound here. So if it were for this style, so it's perfect and it's beautiful. So so let's say regardless of this piece being interesting as a jingle for Celeste, now if we take it more seriously as a piano thing and as part of a longer piece, okay, that you would like, where you would like to be a more academic, more strict, then these are things to start caring about. Also, how you come with this fourth, sixth chord. So because, for example, this kind of free use of this chord in this inversion will need that you use other harmonic elements like passing dominants, like chromatic, tone. Everything comes together to build a style. Okay, and it can also combine with a very neo-modal writing, as did the Scriabin in his Opus 13, the first prelude. Okay, in D minor. So then this inversion in the strong beat comes as a very interesting way of expanding the classical traditional tonality of Beethoven, Mozart. um, and here I think you come to this chord because suddenly you prioritize too much counterpoint. So it all has to do with understanding that counterpoint and harmony, to some extent, they are really different types of tonal organization. Okay, and this issue has to do with what we mean by modern, by classic tonality. Okay, and this is not so easy to explain now, because of course harmony does not contradict counterpoint, and counterpoint does not contradict harmony. But there is a paradigmatic way of considering tonal music from the point of view of counterpoint, and this will be the old modal music that we don't even call it tonal in the modern sense, and the music that is very based on chords, and chords start to coordinate the counterpoint. So when I see this chord here, it looks like what you are doing is not clear between the between this change that you do, having sometimes counterpoint as the main focus and sometimes harmony as the main focus. It looks like you jump from one thing to another, like you was going into the sometimes totally early Baroque music paradigm, and then suddenly the Beethoven paradigm. So this is why we have this kind of weird thing going on that the Celesta um, omitted very well. So this was the most genial aspect of your creation. So um, then 4/6, then yes, this whole moment here sounds very early Baroque, end of Renaissance. The unaware inversion here going on, and then the subdominant, the dominant, the subdominant. So you are not looking for tonal relationships here. And then here, then center, you have a dissonance that has nothing to do with the early music, counterpoint thinking. This is what I say. Then the only argument for this is that you are speaking about weird Wagner. So the Wagner that was not Tristan Isolde yet, that the Wagner that want to do whatever harmony but different. For example, it is in the, like in this overture here. I had anyway, look at the prelude to the Meister Zenger of Nuremberg. There is a moment that is in the first page. It is on my channel. That he crosses he does like contrary movement between the violins. Okay, and it is clear that he absolutely doesn't care the about the interval and the what are the consonants or dissonants. He only cares that is the contrary thing. Okay, so he literally is not caring about some things. You don't have like a nice or organization, and he knows the time where he is allowed to do this, and how the whole framework is working. He know which is the bar, and where is your attention starts to fly, and you start to accept this as a sound. However, still weird. He was trying to do things. So Wagner has this moment. So before he achieved this the proper Wagnerian style that influences so Debussy and so on. So um, Okay, so this is clear now. So this contradiction between this unprepared dissonance, heavy dissonance, and this early Baroque music idiom or late Renaissance. Okay, so then you want again your um, 4/6 chord. Then he's amazing how no one's get right this today. Sorry, and I say this with confidence because uh, so I have a student. He tries to do this. He doesn't get right. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to do this and with some syncope. No, or and so on. And so it's a kind of situation where you combine the old syncoped cadence of the Baroque and Renaissance of the Renaissance counterpoint with the modern harmony. Where is the I mean the classical tonal harmony of Beethoven. Okay, so this is what is going on here. So it's especially important for writing for a quartet. So string quartet, and then this is what you would have to learn if you want to really take serious about this. And then your Celesta uh, did the best that you could to hide to hide everything that is going on here, and that is not exactly so so the management of preparation, dissonance, and the resolution is not going there as it is. It would be the desired thing in the classical style. And principally the most important mistake here is the double leading tone. So this kills totally your argument of creating a four-part piece that is based on counterpoint. So these contradictions are the problems. So this from the very strict compositional point of view for you go forward and for you can develop. But as a jingle, I think people are not caring too much. So maybe someone will hear your octaves going on here in this leading tone, and okay, so what? So you sold your jingle, and people are using it. Do you understand? It's a little bit like this. But you, as a composer, you should care if you master the craft or not, because you don't wait that people tell you that you are a composer. You want to tell you that you are a composer and that you master your craft independent of what is happening with the feedback. So from this point of view, I find very problematic this idea of trying a very classical cadence, and it breaks a very important principle the classical tonal cadence, and also even of the cadence and that of in the early music, so Renaissance and early Baroque, would still, it would be even um, um, even worse. So but it's ambiguous from start to end. Worse because of this voice leading, but the way you end. So this is early music, early Baroque. So this is Schutz, Monteverdi. Okay, so your third is missing, but Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, never ever. Okay, you don't want to do this. You want to communicate the third, because this means the communication of affect, and principally the major third. It means also that the very statement of the tonic. And here again it is missing the third. Okay, what is very uncommon. Only if you really argue with me that your piece is totally old counterpoint, then we can start accepting this idea of missing uh, thirds from time to time. But if you want the early music paradigm, so your baseline is strange. The relationship between the voice is strange because it lacks of a little bit of imitation, even if it is not a strict imitation. Mm, and what else? If it were old music, let me hear again. Yes, the parallel fifths. Yes. So the parallel fifths, we could save you saying that also Cabezon did some weird things. Yeah, so your best way to go is this. So it's a very good jingle for Celesta. You could try to erg, then in another perspective, as a concert music composer, as a classical music composer, then you could erg and try to bring this to the early music um, category. Then you would have, in any case, have to change this one here and pay attention with the preparations, and pay very much attention with this one here and this one here. Then we could tolerate your baseline that is very clear, the attempt of a kind of period, and it's very base continuo thing. So in the third level, so classical music, if you are going for Beethoven, Mozart, then it's totally no go. Then you don't pass the exam. Okay, so these are the three levels that we can consider what to do, and then this is what is amazing here. So you see the contradiction between just hearing the celesta. You hear this, okay, good. It could be sponsored by something. Then it comes this jingle. For me, it's okay. So here you find good, but then you start observing other levels. Then you start to see problems, and it all depends which type of skill do you want to achieve. Okay, and I did another video about this today, but I hope I upload. I don't know, you will see. So now I will tell you still the most important thing here to get this right. If you want to get perfect, the piece is divided in two, not in four. Okay, so your harmony goes in two. Okay, dun, 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 Okay. Dun. Okay, it's a very very clear binary um, binary thing. For the jingle, it could be sold as a dance. Let me see, it's a baroque dance. Exactly. So from the rhythm point of view, it is a baroque dance. So between Pretorius and Handel, or something that you are like doing a reference to a baroque dance, yeah, because your celesta is a new thing. So this is why it sounds like media music. For music media is good, so like video game, animation, jingle, etc. So so these are, I would change is and very important. Okay, the binary, this is what gives the also the professional touch, that you know how your what you're writing is related to the literature and the tradition of reading music. So in this case, your agitato, um, also I don't find so good. I would write allegretto. Um, then the metronome. Let me see here. Tap. So this is 65. Okay. Um, yes. Is it correct? So I tap here on Ableton Live. Tariran, ah, no, no, I am stupid. So, okay. Yes, exactly, of course. So, I would do like this. Okay. And that's all. So these are the changes that I would do. Or you write like this, and then it's also a possibility. Dun. I would have to think about if this is still better, because then we have other chains going on. Then you can discuss a lot if you want to be precise with this. Then it's a very very perfectionist level of discussion. But you could also, if you want to get crazy with this, you can get, and at the university they will make you crazy with this, because if you are characterizing as a precise baroque dance, then even the time signature is relevant for the correctness of the thing. But the idea here is not to be like a crazy perfectionist, but to show you all the elements that you can think about, and the levels of quality that you want to reach in each of these elements. However, as I said, uh, I would not even comment about this piece. The jingle is okay, I heard, and then I saw, okay, but I thought this is a very interesting opportunity to reflect about the, let's say, more philosophical issues and more dialectical uh, issues regarding the point of view that you select when you're analyzing or judging music. So that's all. Thanks for watching, and I invite you to subscribe. Please remember to give a like as a thanks. And if you want to proper learn the techniques in a classical point of view, book a lesson with me. And if you don't want, if you want to do, I don't know, whatever, book a lesson with me as well. And hope that I like your music, and that we can work without mentioning classical music rules, I think it will be hard, and you will learn why. So this is all that I can tell you today. Thanks so much, and see you.